my mother-in-law handed me a paternity test kit at Thanksgiving and said, let's finally settle this. 3 weeks later, the results destroyed the wrong marriage. I married Marcus after 2 years of dating, and his family never hid how they felt about me, for he was the son of a cardiologist and a former state senator. His mother, Diane, his father, Robert, asked once if I'd thought this through, like marrying his son was a when I got pregnant with our son, Eli. I hoped it would change something. It didn't. Diane started commenting on his features before he could even hold up his own head. He has such a nothing like Marcus at that age. She said it lightly, like a joke's had teeth. Robert asked Marcus, in front of me, if he'd ever had doubts. I told myself it was insecurity, grief over losing control of their perfect son. Diane set it on the table between the mashed potatoes and the gravy boat and said we should do it. Marcus stayed silent, staring at his plate, the same way he always did when his parents needed a witness. I signed the release form myself. I wanted it over with. 3 weeks later, Diane had insisted on being there when the truth came out. I read the letter twice before it made sense. No biological relationship detected, but Diane made a small sound of triumph. Robert looked at Marcus and said, well, I should have felt shattered. Instead, something cold and clear moved through me, because I knew something they didn't. I had never once, in 6 years, been unfaithful to Marcus, which meant only one thing could occur. If Eli isn't Marcus's, I said quietly, then whose sample did you actually send in? Diane's smile didn't move, but her eyes did. It came out over the next 2 days. Diane hadn't collected Marcus's swab that morning like she claimed. She'd used an old sample, one she'd kept sealed in a drawer for over a decade, from a private paternity test she'd run after she found a hospital bracelet in Robert's coat pocket from a woman who wasn't her. She never told Marcus either. She just sealed it, hid it, and lived 12 years next to the truth that her husband had almost caught her in something far worse than an affair. Robert wasn't Marcus's biological father. Diane had known since Marcus was 17, where she had sat across from me at that table, accusing me of the exact deception she had buried under her. We ran a real test the following week at an independent lab, with Marcus standing beside the he always was. Robert moved out 3 days after the results came back. Careful and quiet, like he's still deciding how much forgiveness the man deserves for a lie he didn't even. I don't know what to feel about Diane anymore. I spent 6 years hating her for doubting me, and holding a truth so heavy it broke her marriage instead of mine. Marcus says I should let it go, but some nights I still think about that dining room table and the woman who was so sure she'd